Hello guys, it's Iain again. I'm a driving instructor and I wanted to share with you a book review today. Thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to be reviewing this book, which is How to Drive by Ben Collins. Highly recommended book. I found it very fun and hilarious in places to read. I'll be honest, it's got a lot of insights, for most of which I have learnt through my career as well. So Ben Collins has obviously got a lot of learning that he's put into the book. So well done, because it's helped me to understand, what I want to do in my book, which is a slightly different emphasis. Some really great stuff. I will say on all my book reviews how much I agree with the book, and it's a good 90%, possibly more. I don't always, with every book, with everything, every piece of training that I do, I always ask myself whether or not I fully agree with it. I think if you do fully agree, it should be quite rare really, because we should really think about what our own thoughts are and whether or not we agree or disagree, and always question your own thoughts in terms of what's in it. But the only bit which I would disagree with, and I was quite vocal on it as ever when I read it, is about following distances, which I disagree with. They seem quite short in my opinion, but I think that Ben's approach is very much a track perspective, and also he's suggesting that if you're really focused then you probably can be a little bit closer, but I wouldn't necessarily fully agree with that statement. But some fantastic insights. He talks very passionately about avoiding incidents, which is the subject of my own book. Talks about patience, etc. One great piece of insight that I use quite a lot with my own training is, when you're unfamiliar with the size of a vehicle, what Ben does on NASCAR or similar is get someone to walk around very tightly around the car a few times, and you sit in the driver's seat so you have an idea where the peripheral, where the edges of the vehicle is. Fantastic idea, and I've used that a number of times with people that are unfamiliar, including myself, with the size of a vehicle, which is a really useful tip. A few sort of comments that I take from the book, which is, any surprise is a near miss, that you've missed something, and of course, as a driver, we should be trying to avoid that, which is what he's trying to say. Some really great insights about respect and how we deal with people on the road, etc. But he also talks about trying to avoid drivers that cause incidents, trying to avoid sharing others' incidents and how to avoid them, etc., which is quite good generally. Some great facts and figures in here as well. Some quite insightful bits at the back about how to do a stunt 90 degree into a parking space and how you go about that. Very rare that I'd come across the ability to do that. He also has got some great explanations on how he explains things is very useful. He talks about skidding in quite some detail, and also talks about smoothness and things like that. I mean, from an advanced driving perspective, most advanced drivers would actually disagree with a lot of this book, although I'm a bit more pragmatic and a bit more realistic in the way I do things. And in actual fact, I agree with very much a great deal of the book, including some of the steering techniques that he might suggest as well, which other people might not do. So really good book. Here we go. So he's talking about distractions here and how long it takes us to react and how many football pitches it takes, which I've used myself before, and I use inside my own book as well. So really good approaches to things. I really like it, highly recommended, which is unusual for me. So go out and have a look at it. It says it's about £20 on the back. I'm sure there's some deals available, but go and have a look. Anybody that's into driving or driving instructor or potential driving instructor, might be quite an interesting read, although you might want to look at some of the more official books first of all. So thanks for that, Ben. I enjoyed the book. Maybe some very slight things that I'd adjust slightly personally, but you're quite entitled to your own opinion, and you're a very talented driver. So so thank you very much for that. Thanks for listening, and have a look at the book. Thank you.